So here's my question. I'm going to go off on a limb here and assume that the majority of you guys actually know what an angle looks like. Well, what's a good definition for an angle?
Two lines that come together.
No, we would call that
The measurement of degree. I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to actually define an angle. Well, no one is. You can, if I say point to an angle, I'm guessing the majority of you guys in this class, hopefully all of you in this class, can actually put your finger on the angle. Hoping for that. Okay, so how do we actually define the angle? Well, the angle actually has two parts. And what it is, those two parts are made up of rays that share the same endpoint. So an angle is formed by two rays with the same endpoint. That'd be a good thing to write down. So formed by two rays with the same endpoint. And so when we look at an angle, the rays that make up that angle are called the sides of the angle. And then that pointy part, or that common endpoint, is called the vertex of the angle. Now, a lot of times in geometry, one of the things that we do when we talk about angles is we represent them with a curved arc. And so we have this nice little curved arc sitting inside there, and that represents the angle. And then, again, it's really important that we learn to speak the language of mathematics, learn to read it, and so I want to make sure we talk about how to label the angle. And there are basically three ways we can name an angle. So we've got A, B, C, and we'll put a number 1 right here next to the angle. Actually, looks like number 2. We'll call that number 2. Okay. So when we name the angle, when it's just a single angle and it's very clear what that angle is, we can call that angle A. So we use the symbol. It's like an angle. It's got almost like the less than sign, but the difference is that that's a straight line. Okay, so it's not an angle. So we call that angle A. We could also call that angle 2. But the preferred method to name the angles is using a 3-point system. When we're using the 3-point system, it's like literally a roadmap on how to define the angle. And you always put a note of this in your notes right now. Always put the vertex in the middle. The vertex is always in the middle. And so we can name this angle B, A, C. So we're going to go from B to A, C. So again, that is our preferred method for labeling our angle. This is kind of our preferred method right here. Now, is BAC the only other name I could use for that?
No.
What else could I use?
CAB.
CAB. All right, so CAB and BAC are the same angle.